All right, good morning. Welcome to Gran Turismo the way it should be. So we're going to be doing some races exactly the way they should be. Super clean, super extreme, and with friends. Gran Turismo should be about making friends, making contacts, telling great stories, and getting into all the car talk you could ever imagine. And that's what this channel's about. It also has the brother channel or sister channel, Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, where we actually review real world cars. We're long-term reviewing. We've had it now for a year. The 2017 GT350, so that's a Shelby GT350 with a flat plane crank V8, just like the Ferrari 458 in this game, and that means high revving and incredible sound. We also have a 2024 Ford F-150 Tremor, which we're long-term reviewing, as well as we had two Porsche 911s for 1.5 years, and we've sold one Porsche 911. So we're down to one Porsche 911, and part of the goal of this channel is to get over 1,000 subscribers so that we're monetized and it can help pay for the real world racing lessons. So I want to take everyone to a racetrack and walk them through what getting real world racing lessons looks like. So that's another element of extreme, as in extreme danger and extreme cost if ever I crash that 911. So here we've got it. We're doing races the way they should be. It's all about focusing on improving your own craft, racing against yourself, and not playing this like a Mario Kart Demolition Derby Call of Duty racing game. So very little arcade and all about real racing skill. So we want to improve skill. If you want to learn and grow, join the channel. Before we get started, just hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure bell notifications are on. Otherwise, this will probably be the only time, if you're new to the channel, the only time YouTube will actually put this in your, potential list of videos to watch. And I'm not going to spend all day making thumbnails, so I might not have the most attractive thumbnails, but I sure try to make the content entertaining and extremely helpful. And no matter what, you will make some solid friends in our community. We've got one of the best communities, live stream communities on the internet, very supportive, all about learning and growing. So let's see here. We've got our A drivers up at the top. Great job, JCCR, film this. Corbin Dallas, Art. We've got our B drivers, JCCR, Jay Rizzo, Art Christian, Dano. Great work, Dano, our buddy from Texas. We've got Super Doofus over here that, like ourselves, got kicked into the D this week, but we just crawled back into the C and actually pulled off a first place win last night. You can check that out as we saved the video, and I'll be publishing that today. So we got PSR, C, JK, as an E, and it's all about, I like to put the E's at the top of the list, at the top of the race, so they will get passed, but they have an advantage. And when they get passed, they can learn from the cars in front of them. So we're going to be covering racecraft today and just having a whole lot of fun with our subscriber and YouTubers. If you want to join the JCCR team, you just got to throw JCCR _ and then your name to your name. And you got to do your best to learn and improve, learn and grow, and your best to drive clean, to not be a menace on the track. Accidents happen, just not deliberate menacing. So we're at 10 racers, which this race can actually handle 16 racers pretty decently, but 10 is going to be real nice. So let's change the grid order. We want the A's up there, film this, Corbin and Art at the bottom, then Jay Rizzo, Dano. So we got to reverse order this. Knight Rider Jim, welcome, mate. Let's see how that looks here. So we got a D driver, PSRC, that we got to throw up top. So the whole goal of this, it's part of the extreme racing and it's part of the learning. So if you're an E, D, or C driver, you're going to be higher up. So you're going to learn to defend cleanly, not scrap your race, doing some dangerous defending. And PSRC also there. Got to go to the top, PSRC. Looks like we got 2 here from PSRC team. Very cool, guys. Thanks for joining. And Corbin, so BBBA, Art's got to go down. Now Corbin's an A. So we got the A's at the bottom. So they're going to get to work and learn and grow. If they're in the live stream, they can learn and grow by coaching and mentoring. They're also going to be coaching and mentoring pretty much everyone that they pass, because for at least a moment, hopefully longer than brief moment, but for a moment, the cars that are behind them are going to get to learn, okay, this is how an A driver, like pretty much you could say like a semi-pro driver, this is how they do the track. I'm going to put myself in 5th, put Sosa ahead of me. Sosa, thanks for making it in. That's awesome. And DE, the teammates, they can go together. We'll put Pink behind. We'll start this right up now. And I'm going to turn the live stream actually on. I want to follow this, catch any comments that come in. Yes, so howdy everyone, good morning. Let's get down to business. Now, I find brake balance is really important. If you find your car isn't turning in enough, go into the minuses and maybe turn the traction control up. All right, so I think we're doing Maguire in not reverse. Oh no, we got it here. Ooh. So yeah, Maguire not in reverse. We got in the regular order, which next time we race it, we'll probably put it in its standard format. So a good little practice here. And it's great because for the better drivers, it forces us to learn our passing skills, and works them a little harder than usual because it's passing skill with people who are going to be going, for the A drivers, a lot slower than what you're used to. So it's all about risk avoidance, crash avoidance. At the 50 is where we brake here. Catch the apex, oh so important. To go in slow, to come out fast. So you got to be going slow enough, as fast as you can, but slow enough that you can actually catch the apex. If you're going too fast, you'll just drive right through, and you'll brake right through the apex, like I did right there. Prime example of going in too quick. And of course, it's Saturday, so we still have tonight and tomorrow night to try to get another first place, or at least top 3 in the C class. If we had Maguire for another week, I think we could get into B. Putting it in second there just to avoid some tire spin. Alright, so little tip, don't sponsor your back window, because then you can't see anything. If your car doesn't have a reverse camera like the BMW, you've only got your radar and your side mirror, your left side mirror, unless you're playing in VR, then you'll have your passenger mirror. So we only have our left side mirror. Maguire, fantastic race, whether it's in standard or reverse. Got a big boy pant, and that means only starting to brake at the 50. Cut the apex here, and cut it up quite a bit. And JCCR Super Doofus saying he likes his sunny side up. Yes, I love eggs. I don't know if we're actually talking about real eggs, but I have 6 eggs and 2 slices of bacon every morning. And as long as I avoid sugar, I stay thin. The red meat, the attack on red meat and animal fats has been ridiculous. That is not the cause of actually gaining fat. Sugar is, and processed foods, and all sorts of health problems. Samo, thank you very much for dropping a like. I really appreciate that, Samo. Take care, buddy. Thanks for making it in. So last minute braking there, just barely scrape it through. And when you're starting off in first, there's always a chance you got to be careful, especially if your traction control's at 0 or 1. You add some throttle in first gear, and that's usually often a recipe for sliding out. But we've got the brake balance at -2 for more turning. And we've got the traction control at 2, so we can keep the rear under control. And I find that really balances out nicely. The BMW here, so we're driving the BMW M6. Oh, we got a nice AMG coming up the rear. No passing, so in second place now. With Art Christian behind us, that is an A driver. Oh, I think I might pick up a penalty there. Ooh, a little overturn. A little too much torque to the rear wheels, I guess. So now I get to follow an A driver and do some learning. And that's the point of these lobby races. It's to maximize learning, and it's great that A drivers mix in with E drivers. You can really see how the lines are to be performed. You see how much apex an A driver like Art uses up. So really being quick is all about maximizing track space. So it usually means going from the complete outside and catching that apex. And you can see it felt quick going it in, and I was faster going into the corner, but then I scrapped the rest and end up much slower because we're trying to be too quick. So braking in advance so that we can actually catch the apex is oh so important. So we're now in the third after that off-track crash. And being quick, getting quicker and making improvements is also about having faith in the racecraft. So here, turn in on the marker and usually accelerate at the marker if your line has been set up right. So you just throttle down at the inside of the apex if you've made it to the apex. And have faith, even though you don't see the rest of the track often enough, you have faith you're going to make it through. So we're trying to get down to a 1:59 lap time for our qualifying. We're down to, I think, 2 minutes almost flat. Yeah, 2 minutes, 0:01. So if we can get down to 1:59, so we're actually starting in second or third in the C class. Now hopefully everyone has time to make it in. But at least we're not waiting a minute this way. We're not waiting a full minute for everyone to finish up. We should at least get the top 7 racers in. Right on, Yasin. Right on. Fantastic. And Samo RSR is saying that he'd like to drop, bro. See you later. No time at the moment. ATM. ATM does mean at the moment. I have to remember that, as it can also mean a few other things. Here we go. Just adjust some lighting here. All right, so we got clean race. That means double the money here. Okay, Dano is now awake. Fantastic. I like that in lobbies you can be racing with friends, so if you want to race with us, easy method. Someone on this list, especially anyone on the JCCR team, you just friend them, PS Network, friend them. Oh, Super Doofus, no worries. The race started with their phone. Yes, live long and prosper. We got our fantastic moderator here, Super Doofus, making it in. Thank you so much. So that was the race in, well, Chowda Pouch. Right on. Thanks for making it, Chowda. All right. So we got Ditch and Party Boy joining in here, and CTR. Ooh, CTR Ronan is extremely fast. That's CTR, the CTR team. Very fast crew. Now I'm going to switch up the race. Start race, change grid order, change event settings. Now we're either going to do this in reverse, like this week's race, or we could hit up Dragon Trail. I'd like to be able to do the Maguire in reverse here. Full course, reverse. Nope, some people chat about. You gotta initialize, buddy. Hit that green check mark. And it's okay if you haven't picked out your car. You'll get a chance once we actually set up, change the settings. Here we go. So let's get this in reverse one time. And then we'll hit up the Dragon Trail unless we get votes out differently. So I'm voting Dragon Trail for the next one. Gonna write in the community chat, voting time. Super Doofus, Deep Forest is a good one and often comes back, so it's a good track to be competitive online. It's an important track to be fast on in both reverse. So folks, don't forget, throw on your softs. Oh, Dano, so I've been outvoted unless someone votes Dragon Trail, but sounds like it's going to be Deep Forest so far. And let's see, we'll have to reorganize. So let's put Art, CTR. Chowda should be at the top with PSR. Don't forget, folks, hit that green mark. I'm also up for Panorama today, if anyone else is up for Panorama. Bathurst. Cheers, folks. All right, so let's get the grid order set up and right so we can maximize learning. Oh, fantastic, Dano. Right on. Yeah. Yeah, we both love Bathurst, don't we? And I think the Viper, well, you're good with the Viper there at least. All right, so let's see here. Philness, our A driver here. Got to get Philness near the bottom. Party boy. Boy is a D. Too much partying, not enough racing, and that is A-okay. Ditch. Good morning, Philness. Thanks for making it into the live chat, buddy. So Ditch is a C, Dano B, JCCR, so I should just move myself up, or just move Dano down. Dano and JCCR and CTR. All right, CTR. And Rizzo is rizzing up the track. I've learned that means... Thank you very much, Phil. Yeah, punting the like definitely does help this small family business grow and when our community grows, we get more information and knowledge in here. Yeah, Dano and JCCR, we got to get you down. Sorry, buddy. So Dano needs to be behind me. And Rizzo. All right, so Philness, yes, JCCR, Rizzo, Dano, then myself, Ditch, Chowda. Perfect. Okay, we got Souza that needs to go up, and Emil. All right, let's get Emil near at the top here. I believe that was an E. So right at the top, and the other one was Sosa. Let's get him ahead of me. And I think Ditch is in the right place. I think we got this all worked out. Oh, that's beautiful. Ready to race. The whole goal of this, I know for a live stream this isn't ideal because it takes time. You guys want to see racing, right? But I want to get the racing right. I want it to be racing the way it should be. Slowest people at the front, fastest people at the back, maximize learning and growth. The slower racers get to actually practice what they're going to be doing most of the time, defending. And they have to learn smart defense, not just, pitch yourself in front of a car and have two cars crash out or get yourself punted. And the faster drivers have to learn how to pass with people going a lot slower. So it's really good practice for everyone. Oh, they've left me a nice open space. Thank you very much, kind gentlemen. And yes, this is the way racing should be because it's clean. Oh, we know it's Dano when we see the Viper on the track. The Viper is on my bucket list. I would maybe already own one, except the model I like is the last generation. And whereas they went off dealer lots at about 80, 90,000, people want 180 to 200,000 Canadian for them now. That just doesn't make sense. Double the price. Dealers were putting $20,000, $30,000 discounts on them because they had 3-year-old Vipers unsold, new, on the lot. All right, took that awfully slow, but I've got just the right amount of spacing to see what's going on. And now I can get to work. I am loving this track this week, and I think to get the best results, my recommendation to everyone is before getting online, either race AI, make some money, or do qualifying laps, but you might as well actually race against AI, make a lot of money until you're pretty fast on the track, then do qualifying. So I'd say 45 minutes of AI racing, 15 minutes of qualify, then jump online. That way you're not going to be hurting your lobby ranking. I braked really early there, so sorry to everyone behind me. Doing my best not to hit you there, buddy. And Emil, that's a good lesson for all of us when we try to fight back against a car that's up against us. Often we're applying pressure in an area of our car that'll actually send ourselves off track. So it's always usually best to drive clean unless you know, if you're doing a multi-lap race and you have someone that every time you get near them, they're hitting you on the straightaways or spearing you into another stratosphere, well, they might actually be worth taking out just once. But that's usually pretty rare when it happens. Oh no, Philness having power cable issues. So he's probably, warranty issue. Probably out of the race or lost power and went into a wall. So yeah, defending doesn't mean attacking the cars as they try to pass you. It just means kind of being in the way. Either taking the ideal driving line if they're going to be doing that, or cutting in towards the apex early, but then you might get passed on the outside. So all kind of about making a last minute decision, kind of throw the other car off. It doesn't mean hitting the car. Ooh, I've more than kissed the wall. That's a full out relationship with the wall. I'm now in a long-term committed relationship with the wall. There is so much contact there. I'm going to be paying child support to the wall there. Ricky, salute. Good day, Ricky. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for making it in. Here we go, here we go. Dano is very fast. He's gotten down to 159 on the track. And now I motivated him to bring his time down, and now it's motivating me to bring my time down because I'm a 2-minute flat. 2-minute 0.01 on my qualifying time. Now, Devin last night mentioned something really important. Once you get into first, it's so... Hey, GT Skino, thank you very much for making it in. You'll find that we've got a really great community here. We're friend-focused and all about learning and growing. So we're all about talking cars, talking tips and tricks, talking racecraft. So Dev mentioned something really good. I haven't been in first place very often. In D class, yes, but not in C class. So the pressure is that much higher, the racing's that much closer. And you mentioned a really great tip. When you're in first, we actually got into first because first place, when we're in second, buckled under the pressure because we didn't glue ourselves to the back of the car and limit our visibility, but we left about a car space, and you felt that pressure, and you caved under the pressure. And once I got into first, Dev gave one of the best pieces of advice. He said, now drive like you're doing one of your qualifying laps. Essentially, forget about what's behind you. And I had a great lap, and his tip was really great because it made it so that I was like, yeah, I need to not look at what's behind me because I'm going to miss at what's in front of me. And that happens in the real world, not just in racing. I mean, generally, people that spend too much time worrying or regretting, stressing, or beating themselves up about the past, that's a main source of depression. You're worried, and in the game you end up, missing something and driving into the grass, or worse, the wall, depending how much you missed from looking behind. And if you look too far ahead, well, it creates a little bit of anxiety and you miss what's right in front of you, the present. So we just got to work with what's in the present. Dano, I'm going to apply pressure here, buddy. 201.7. Let's get down into a 2. Let's drive fast together. Oh, and the Viper just did not want to turn, and that might have actually been a controller or steering wheel getting disconnected. Or he was watching behind the rear view camera going, hey, is that Johnny? Who is that? Because that happens too. That's happened to me. Right before turn, I'm like, okay, where's his line? Where is he going to go? Looking behind, and as a result, I miss my line and just go off track. I miss my brake point, or I just miss the line. Usually it's a bit of both. Now, it's unfortunate we lost Philness to a power cable issue. The channel is about GT streaming, GT content, GT7 content. and it's about learning and growing and making friends in the process. It's nice being able to talk cars with people, real world cars and cars in the game. And I love talking real world cars with people because we got a mix of younger and older folks that drive all sorts of cars. And we actually have the channel Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. It's the, you could say, the sister channel to this. Oh, it's not on the GT Streamers website. I didn't even know that exists. I've been only doing this since December. Well, I think a year ago I had posted like maybe 2-3 videos and then stopped. My daughter was born and came back a full year later. Filmus, thank you so much for answering a GT Skinno. Really appreciate that, friend. Filmus is great. Check out his channel. Also, check out Super Doofus. Super Doofus and Filmus have great YouTube channels on GT7 Racing. We're all part of the same team, so you'll get a similar but different, same but different content because they've got the same principles as myself. It's all about learning, growth, safe, smart driving, and focusing on the racecraft, not about the, you know, it's kind of like don't focus so much on the battle, focus on the entire war. So we don't throw it away all in one race just to get, you know, maybe a position or two ahead, and also part of the time just completely crash out. GT Skinno, if that's your actual picture, full respect. That is a beautiful head of hair and beard. I'm about 20 years late on my beard. I can tell you I would have loved to have a beard at the age of 20, but instead I just had patches. But that is one heck of a full beard. I wish I could grow a beard like that, maybe in another 20 years. So yeah, we got a clean race bonus. Oh, is a little extra cheddar. Chowder Pouch should like that term because cheddar is, well, like cheddar cheese, but it's also a term for extra money. Well, it fits incredibly well together, GT Skinno. I love it, and if I were you, every so often, you know, Fridays, maybe Fridays at work, you could pull that off without getting in trouble. Fridays at work, I get to wear jeans, so jeans were put as allowable attire if it's worn with a suit jacket, like a proper vest, a suit vest. Suit jacket. But I threw in cowboy boots, and so far it passes. I got a few comments, but I wasn't told to stop. But anyways, I saw a lot of trucks, so the truck clientele, definitely. I leave my cowboy boots at work, and pretty often people go, "Oh, I love your cowboy boots." Oh, you work from home? Oh, right on. Then you get to do what you want. Right on. Very cool. Glad for you. That's nice. That's very nice. How do you find the experience of working at home? Do you find it has too much isolation, that you're missing out on work content? Are you more productive because there isn't workplace drama? There's not the, you know, sometimes I've seen people get into work and lose a full hour or sometimes more just chit-chatting, and it's like, okay, well, they chit-chat with everyone for the first hour and a half, they do, and then an hour of work, and then they go off for lunch. It's like, okay, so for the first 3 hours of the work day, you only worked for an hour. So I find it interesting when people work from home what their opinions are. All right, Philness, you had to go to phone. Now, is that like... Chowder Pouch, semi-retired at 47, right on. Now, I like the fact that you've got a rooster. In my city, we can't have roosters, and if I had a little bit more property, I'd have chickens, but we can only have a maximum of 5, so at that point, I eat 6 eggs every morning, so I'd still be, you know. So GT Skinno saying, I loved it at first, but now I do miss working with people, and it swings and roundabouts. Sometimes I get loads done, and other days I get nothing done. Well, that's true of working in an office. Usually working in an office, it's always a little to a good amount done, but there aren't as many days where you get a ton done because there's all the distractions. You have to keep up a certain minimum of social interaction nonetheless. Oh, fantastic. Philness saying, Johnny, please add your YouTube channel on Skinno website. Well, Philness, maybe you'll show me how to do that. I would love to add it to GT Skinno's website, but you'll have to give me the walkthrough. Talk to me like I'm a boomer, and that's just a no offense to any boomers. That's just a joke because I had technical issues. What was it, last night? And it was a good lesson in perseverance and not giving up, which race skill requires. This teaches such great discipline and perseverance because it's not about initial skill level. In the long term, someone who's very good off the bat is going to be beaten by someone who's very persistent and disciplined. So let's say someone who's got natural talent but only races once a week, and someone who's persistent like us here in the community, we definitely move ahead. Now, JCCR, Art Christian, yes, good idea. We'll go for a new track. Now it's great because I can just go to load settings. We've got previous tracks, the famous ones, Suzuka. I call it the best, Dragon Trail. I love the Dragon Trail. It's got that chicken of death, as people in the community have called it, the chicane, but they call it the chicken of death. And Philness has an entertaining name for this one that I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. So it's not as kid friendly. GT Skinno, I'm glad you like Dragon. Thank you for the support, mate. Now let's jump into Mount Panorama. It is an extreme course and it will force maximum learning. So in life, you can, how do I say this? People, we're like diamonds. We're best under pressure. We're formed under pressure. You can't have a very easy life with no challenges. And generally, it won't turn out that you've got a ton of talent. Talent needs to kind of be forged. Mount Panorama forges drivers. This race is so extreme. The tight walls, the sharp turns, the elevation changes. It's painful at first. But once you can race this, you can race anywhere. Philness, yes. Philness, you're great at picking names. Actually, the JCCR team name, I think, was 100% your idea to make the team name and change my name to JCCR_. So I'll leave the name selection up to you. So we got 4 laps. Let's get started. So we know the settings are already pretty good. We've tuned them over the last few weeks. We've got Art at the top, so we got our A drivers. Sorry, Philness, if you're able to make it in the race without. Oh, Chowder Pouch, yeah, the green HE double hockey stick is a fantastic race. It is my personal favorite race. Bathurst is my personal second favorite race, I believe, and I'd say Dragon Trail is my third favorite race in the game. I like Deep Forest. It's in the top 10. But I like the races. I don't find Deep Forest that much of an extreme race. Yeah, Super Doofus, that's right. Thank you, Super Doofus. Deep Forest is extreme in the sense that it's often lapped for like the full first 2 laps. It's very badly, it's very bumpy, it's Mario Kart, Twisted Metal, Demolition Derby, all mixed into one very dangerous pie. It's the heartburn pie, because you're either going to have a ton of fun or a ton of frustration, and it's going to be caused by other vehicles. Whereas here, it's all about how you race versus the track. GT Skinno, Maguire is definitely on my top because it's the first time I've also gotten first in the C class, and it feels so smooth. I love how it's like skiing. You know, when you're just doing slaloms down a ski hill and everything just moves together and you're like, oh, I just came in right before that obstacle on the hill. Just very, very smooth. So GT Skinno saying Maguire is his favorite, as it was the first online you won after getting the game. Right on, mate. Yeah, I'm doing well with the reverse. Actually, I'm preferring the reverse now. Oh, you're not doing well with the reverse. I don't know, it's just, my brain just seemed to, I'm more smooth with the reverse for whatever reason. Alright, so we got our 12 racers. We're going to throw up Then we know where people need to be. So here it's a qualify. So this will speed things up and slow things down. More racing, but less grid finessing. And Super Doofus saying that his first win was at the Death Chicken. I love that name. Let's make it our unofficial name for the race. Oh, I'm not in my Ferrari. Oh, too late. Maybe next race. Now, folks, when you have these qualifyings, the trick is get your settings just right before going out. And it's okay to be the last car out, because then you've got space and you don't have to worry about crashing. You can actually race it all up. So we'll go out last and we'll count to about 10. So here's my trick when we're doing the manufacturer's cups or whatnot. So do a rough 10 count. Hey Richie, thank you so much, man. I like your what is that, a BMW? A dog driving a BMW? Well, I haven't always liked BMWs. I've always loved dogs. I grew up, actually, at the age of about 11, my parents got a Husky, and then at 12, a second Husky. So by the time I was 14, we had moved out of Ottawa because we had a litter of Huskies, and we were on about 200 acres and doing dog sledding. So I've even done dog sledding competitions. So I absolutely love animals, and in honor of my sled dogs, who now over time, of course, they're no longer with us, with my parents. My parents are older, and in honor of them, I now have 2 miniature poodles, you know, because they'll pull a whole lot. So that is how racing actually started for me. It started with dog sled races. And now BMWs, I've always been very iffy of them. I sell new and used vehicles. Ooh, mistake here. I've never done this track with the BMW. But yeah, I was never in love with BMWs. I've sold a few of them. Of the 3 I've sold, 1 blew an engine under warranty, so under 60,000 miles. Another one had about 73,000 kilometers, so maybe 45,000 miles. And we put $3,800 into the vehicle, thinking it was okay, and it's like, this was, you know, back in 2017, so $3,800 went further then than it does today. Thank you, inflation and government overspending. And after I sold it, like 4 lights came up in the dash, and we spent another $4,000. So we spent a total of $7,800 on a car that should have been more than okay. And it was out of its 4-year warranty, so that was all dealership funds. So that really turned me off of BMW. But now that I'm flying through with the BMW, I really like BMW and I really don't like BMW. For example, the M6 with the V10. Incredible. It's a Formula 1 engine. Incredible. So cool. What's not cool is the fact that far too often, they've got low mile engine failure. And for example, BMW's very, very reliable flat V6 engines, super reliable, can be destroyed by an electrical problem. So it's a love-hate relationship with BMW. Right now I have a Porsche 911, and I'm pretty happy with that. It doesn't have the incredible sound of a BMW, but it does have the handling. It's incredibly fun to drive. So only the people that went out first probably got in a lap. No, none of us got to finish, so we'll definitely... Yeah, that's right, GT Skinno. That's a really good point. BMWs and Mercedes as well. Mercedes in the 70s and 60s, 70s, 80s. BMW and Mercedes. Really, really reliable. Oh no, extra damage might be on. Sorry about that, folks. I can't change it. I can only start race. So, folks, let's not crash into each other. Ooh, that's GT Skinno. That is a fantastic car. So next time around, we'll do Bathurst and we'll put 5 minutes. Oh, Richie, you're a YouTuber as well. Well, fantastic. We'll have to look for you. Sub to your channel. And yeah, these races are meant to be YouTube. Oh, wow. Film is saying that shout Richie, great racer and even a better human. That is awesome. Yeah, we'll fix the qualifying time on the next one. I hadn't re-verified it. I thought it was all set up right from the last time, but I might have 2 Bathurst races set up in the load map. So I'm staying out of trouble there. So that's an example of one way to really stay out of trouble. We hugged the inside and kept it semi-slow. Now we got someone on our right. What do we do in a situation like this? Well, we're going to have to go wide. So we'll go deep and wide. And still, but now he's got the advantage, would have the advantage being on the outside to the inside here. But we went in a little faster. Oh, we got a little push, but that's all right. I was going a little slow through there. I can understand. All right, so second lap, or kind of third lap ever on this track with the BMW, and I'm not hating it. I'm usually all about the Ferrari or 911 here, or the AMG, but more 911 or Ferrari because of the fast turn-in. But the BMW with the traction control on 2 and TCS traction control on 2 and -2 for the brake balance. This thing is very drivable. It actually has good turn-in, not Ferrari levels, but it's also more stable than the Ferrari. So safe racing means we're ready. The left foot is hovering over the brake pedal. So if someone kisses wall or gets into a long-term relationship with the wall, or even ends up paying child support to the wall because they're full on in and stuck, well, that's okay. We got the left foot over the brake pedal and we're ready to brake at a moment's notice. Catch some apex. That was pretty rad. I love that section of the course. Now, if we had traction control on 0, taking off in first would have been probably a really disastrous idea. We probably would have slid out the back end, pointed the nose towards the wall, and turned into not JCCR, which is for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. It would have been not Johnny, it would have been John Deere, the lawn tractor company, which are also not as reliable as they used to, and have become a little fatigant, annoying, in the sense that a John Deere tractor, I also was on a beef farm through high school and college, and then also through college, university, and my first marriage on a dairy farm. So I can attest to the fact that John Deere tractors used to be unbelievably reliable, the best by far, and you could switch the parts yourself. Now they're not as reliable because, like BMW, they're weakened by excessive technology and electronics, and you kind of have to do everything at the dealer, which causes problems. When you need to go plow a field or seed a field, you need to do it now, not when the tractor's fixed in a 1, 2, 3 weeks or a month. It's got to be now. It's people's livelihoods and it's everyone's feed. Don't ever let anyone tell you that a country doesn't need its own strong agricultural system. That is part of just basic defense. A country must be independent enough to be able to survive on its own. So I'd say part of the defense budget should go to agriculture. We don't want to be eating cricket powder. Not healthy. Soy, not healthy because of hormones. Soya and tofu, especially soya, not good at all for the hormones in men. Rob you of your testosterone. Pump you full of estrogen. Give you the body of an auntie. Alright, so here we are in fourth. I'll get off the rant. Racing isn't my only passion. Clearly, hanging out and making friends with you all, learning and growing from all of you in the live stream is a passion of mine. I love learning. I love cars and racing and trucks. Otherwise, we wouldn't be long-term reviewing a Ford F-150 Tremor. We'd have something like an Audi A6 or S6. Love trucks, and also Ford F-150 trucks have really good resale value if you get the right models. So good models to have: a King Ranch, a Tremor, Black Package 302. But basically, if you buy during employee pricing, or end of year, so October, November, December, you buy the current model year. At that time of year, you'll likely have a $7,000 to $10,000 rebate. And you get so much off that it makes it, if you lease for, let's say, 4 years, the truck should be very tradable after 2. So you can always be under warranty. And if you keep it the full term of the lease with Ford, because they keep their value, the truck's often worth more than the buyback price at the end of the lease. Meaning you might see, if the condition of the truck is good, you might see anywhere from $2,000 to $7,000 put back into your next lease because of your trade-in. Or you can say, write it to me as a check. I would like that money as a check instead of as a, reduction on the next vehicle. So that's what we've done on Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. We leased our Ford F-150 for that reason. But you'll probably want to order up your 2025 in July or August for that to work, because otherwise there probably won't be any trucks, Tremor F-150s or 302s, Black Package 302s available come October or November. Right now we're currently sold out of all Tremors. We're sold out of all 302s other than one, Black Package 302s. We're even sold out of the STX model, which is a great value model. Pretty much sold out of trucks. 2 available Super Duties because they're customer orders that have been dropped. So anyways, I'll leave the real world car info for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews that you can catch anytime on YouTube. And if you subscribe, that'd be great. Working at getting to 15,000 subscribers, and we're not that far away. We're missing about 600 subscribers. The damage does make the car difficult to drive. Absolutely. Well, I'll fix that out, folks. So this part of the course teaches you all about braking at the right time. If you brake at the wrong time, you're spinning out. If you brake at the right time, you're going to be fast. And it's a course that reminds you that slower is a lot better. It's a high-risk, high-reward track, and it's better to play it safe than sorry. Art Christian with a 204.9, mate. That is fast. That's like 5.5 seconds. No, more. My goodness. It's like 7 seconds faster. 6.5 seconds faster than me. My goodness, Art, you're fast. Love it. Love to get behind you and try to follow your lines. And of course, follow the basic racecraft and you will get faster. You'll have major improvements. So use the whole track like we're doing here. Full track. See, we still had maybe 6 feet left of track, meaning we could have gone through there faster. So it's about improving. There we improved our time. Last lap was the fastest, 2:10. Still on the slow side, but an improvement from a 2:14. And I think the fastest I've ever driven this track is a 209. Clean race bonus means double the money. We like the cheddar. All right, Super Doofus, I'm going to fix this. GT Skinno, that is so cool saying. I don't know how familiar with the UK you are, but you've done North Wales to Pole in the south of the UK in 3 hours. Yeah, we're in Canada here, and we're moving more towards a heavy government-controlled state. But in the UK, you guys might know about that. I've been pulled over once, many years ago, and threatened with having my car impounded, my license taken away, and some short temporary jail time. And it was the morning, so I was totally A-okay. Like, all my senses were there, and it's just because how the town was set up when there's still very, very few houses. It went from a 90 zone to a 50 zone, and it's like, okay, so I was doing 100 in the 90, which isn't a big deal. But then when you're doing 100 in a 50 zone, yeah, I definitely, I was pretty serious. They're like, so you want to go to jail? And you get kind of yelled at and shoot out. And I thankfully made it out of that and have been a much safer, smarter driver since. So thank you to the officer. In a more tyrannical state, atmosphere, it's just instant punishment, very, very severe for smaller things, and then not severe enough for much worse things. But so let's say what you write online getting you 2.5 years of prison time, but then people doing physical evil to other people, and they also only get 2 or 3 years of prison time. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. However, thank you to the police officer who was like, I'm going to give you one chance. If I'm going to talk to everyone at the station, and if ever any of us pulls you over again, we're going all out on you, you'll pay dearly. And I've been responsible since. So I was able to learn my lesson. And had I lost my license there, well, I would have also lost my job, and I could have ended up being, kind of stuck as no future. All right. So yes, it is a tough track to pass. It requires a lot of planning. You kind of plan to pass in the last third of the race. GT Skinno, I've got 2 YouTube channels, this one and Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. I also have, I also play around in the stock market a good amount. And I have some shares in a dealership. About 1% of a dealership, so not many shares, but 1%, it's 10% of the co-op, and the co-op is 10% of the business. Yes, we'll turn off qualifying. That's a fantastic idea here. And I also sell new and used vehicles, Ford and Lincolns, and just love serving people. It's actually quite a bit of fun. So let's see here. It's now saying, in case qualifying ever does go back on, we'll put it. All right, so we're going to load settings here. Oops. Save settings. We're going to save over Bathurst to not make this mistake again. So let's see. How's this going to set up? Because I can't see because of the camera. Maybe y'all could see that, but... Oh, GT Skinner, you're not a lowly developer at all. It's actually really cool that you're a developer. I'd say car sales is considered pretty much on the bottom of the totem pole here of society. But I think that's because a lot of people do the work in a non-integral, service-minded way. And I think that if you do the job you want to serve, help individuals, not just convince people, but share information, and you're coming from a service, learning, and growing perspective, I think that it's not lowly. It can be done in an honorable way, but too often it's done in a dishonorable way, so people really usually often have a poor opinion of people in sales in general. Laguna would be fantastic. Yeah, let's do Laguna after. All right, so let's see. Start. Oh yeah, it's straight to start race, which is great. It's fine. We're on a grid start, right? So even if you're an E driver, if you can just pop that pedal, you'll be jumping 6 positions ahead anyways. And let's see, we got the BMW here. I'm loving it and all. I like the style. I don't think I'll ever own one because of reliability issues. But, yeah, rock the Aussie Pug livery, mate. That'd be awesome. Don't forget, folks, to throw on your soft tires. I'm more of a 911 man myself. So let's get... I love Mustangs. I love my Shelby GT350, but I also love my 911, and it's a 996, so it's a third of the price of the, of the Shelby. Let's see if we can adjust quickly to the 911. The BMW is becoming my favorite car to drive in this game. Soft tires. Let's get down to business. Folks, don't forget, check out your car settings, soft tires, and we are going to start in 4, 3, 2, 1. Philness. For the first time ever in a lobby, you actually get to be at the top, which is nice. Oh, I'm almost throwing you at the bottom. How we're still friends is purely based on your kindness and generosity. And Philness is a really good human being. So please check out his YouTube channel. Philness is such a good human being, even though we both have YouTube channels, so we can either grow together or see each other as competitors and, you know, be like, oh, you know, these are my viewers. And that, I think that's not a progress mindset. That's how a lot of people think. -2 for the brake balance. So yeah, Philness is a great human being. Early on, came in and spent like an hour tuning my pedals, working, checking out my steering wheel, and actually has offered, oh, sorry, I'm gonna punt people here, but I got pushed, folks. So I'm gonna wait here. I pushed someone off, and it was not my fault. Here we go, buddy, take it. I pushed that yellow car off, Rez Racer. I'm sorry, Rez, I got punted into you, but I'm gonna pull off and take the back of the pack here because nonetheless responsible for my actions. Oh, the AMG. The AMG is actually a car, if I ever sell the Shelby, or if Bitcoin goes to 200,000, I might buy an AMG for reviews. And anyways, it's not as if it's going to lose money, so I can always buy the AMG, and if I don't like it, sell it a year later. Buy it at the low time of the period. Places, here's a little buying trick. Vehicles that are summer vehicles or collectible vehicles that could be driven in the winter but nobody does because they're collectible, the value and the prices go down in spring, fall, as people say, you know what, I don't want to pay for storage, continue paying insurance and plates when I'm not going to drive it. You can, it's weird, my Shelby I picked up for 10,000 less just because of the timing. My two 911s I picked for, I'd say, 14,000 less and 10,000 less because of the time of year, but the red 10,000 less, I was too focused on it's the right time of year and I'm buying from an engineer, so clearly the car is going to be perfect. But it turns out not all engineers are anal retentive and quality focused. Often they are for mechanics, but not for aesthetics. And aesthetics, well, you can just pay to have them fixed, but the paint was too far gone. The black car, I just had it, you know, $400 or $500 compound, and the paint went from finished and needing $8,000 to, yeah, this paint is still very, very, very nice. Just needed a wet compound, 2 days of work on it, and the interior fixed for about $800. But the red one needs the clear coats finished on it, so it needs to be fully repainted. So that's $8,000, or wrapped for $5,000, or we teach ourselves to wrap, maybe mess it up, and maybe lose $600 on materials. But at least then it's, you know, we'll either have learned how to wrap or learned that we can't learn how to wrap. And I don't mean wrapping like Will Smith rapping. I mean wrapping as in with the material over the car. It's already red, so it's like, man, you really wrap the red 911s for 996. Pretty rare color. They're mostly all silver, blue. A lot of silver and blue. Mostly silver and blue. A few blacks and a few reds. Very few reds, at least for sale. Maybe that just means all the reds people bought them originally, saying I'm going to keep this forever. So here, forced to go just a little slower, which is all right. Because you generally don't pass in this section unless someone hits the wall. You got to be ready. Hover that left foot over the brake pedal. Yeah, GT1, thank you so much for allowing Philness to post our YouTube on your channel. That is really cool. Thanks, mate. Chowda! Whoa! Whee! Hey! That is some fun racing. Oh, I like little surprises like that. It reminds you gotta have fast reflexes when you're racing. Almost like being a hockey goaler. And I race cockpit view because, yes, part of the goal of this channel is to bring you all along for a real world racing experience. I hoped we'd be at 1,000 subscribers for this time of year, because if so, we'd already be subscribed to the $1,500, at least $1,500 worth of race classes. Plus, it will require 2 hotel stays, likely. Food and whatnot. I'm probably thinking it's about $2,500 until I can get my car on the racetrack, my own personal car on the racetrack, the 911. That's a $30,000 risk taken. Ooh, Party Boy came in hot. Now, have you been sipping on what's written on the back of your car? If so, I salute you, Captain, but it does make for some less good driving. Yeah, the 911 is just fantastic here, folks. Party Boy actually doing an interesting setup. He knows the alleys are thin, and he's holding me kind of back because he knows if I get impatient, very smart defensive maneuver. He knows if I get impatient and try to pass, I'll likely crash out, and then he won't have to deal with me anymore. So very, very interesting and smart maneuver. But the back to pack there, we didn't have time to finish because we're just too far behind from one major crash. So we'll work on that for next time. We'll actually change the settings so we don't make that mistake again. Time limit. What is this, a time limit for the actual track? No, it can't be. 5 minutes. Oh, it's on time limit instead of tracks. Okay. Number of laps. This is different. So I guess it's what can you do within the amount of time. So I'll have to put it on 10. Number of laps. Here we go. Sorry about that, folks. So we'll save those settings. We won't make that mistake again because the settings will be saved. Grid order, slowest first. And for qualifying, we gotta beef up that. Race finish delay. Here we go. 60 seconds. No one should be more than 60 seconds behind. Qualifying continuation, 130 seconds, so over 2 minutes, so everyone should be able to cross the line. It was pan tire up here that we had corrected and worked on. That's probably the problem here. I see, we had 2. So JCCR should have actually been deleted because pan tire was the correct one from the last time. Be right back. Right on, Philness. Thanks for letting us know. So now we're actually going to load settings because we have a load for... There was a call for a race. We'll wait for you, Philness. Thank you so much for checking that out. So Laguna Seca should be set up. We'll load it in. 90 seconds. Monty swing well. Yes, smart. Let's do this. 90 second finish delay. So Laguna Seca, a shorter track. Let's do 5 laps. And, you know, comment in the live stream. If 5 laps isn't enough, let me know here. We've got no time limit, 5 laps. Slowest first, grid start with false check. Mechanical damage, we got to get that to light. Invisible damage on. Tire wear, we'll turn that off. People like to have consistent tires. 10 laps, then tire wear would be really neat because it'd be race with hards, last the 10 laps, or go softs and do the tire swap. There'd be some strategy in there. We'll do off, because if you drive off track anyways, you're going to slow down. No point in having the shortcut penalty on and someone actually gets pushed off the track and picks up a penalty on top of it. That's always frustrating online. So we try to make these races the way they ideally should be. If we're the creators of the online week races, this is how it should be. Race finish delay, 60 seconds. GT Skinno, if you're talking to me, absolutely. I'd really appreciate that, GT. And I don't have any friends with hair as awesome as yours, so definitely want to put this friendship in on the creation, on the starts. Now I'm just trying to see for qualifying. I guess we don't have qualifying, which is why. Yeah, right on, Philness. Thanks for getting on the team livery.
Which is hilarious. I really need to grow my hair low.
Yeah, I'm starting to have a bit of an issue with hair as well. And Facebook seems to know because they keep suggesting that I buy Spartan shampoo. All right, so I think everyone's back here. We got the race. We're going to save the settings here. We're going to do a little overwrite. Ooh, 10:30. Good guy, keep an eye on things. We have people coming over for about 11. Daughter, a little play date for my daughter, my baby girl. Now let's see. So here we've got it. Subscribers and YouTubers learning and growing together. Sometimes I write subscribers versus YouTubers because the whole versus competition gets people to click on the video just a little bit more. But really the goal isn't to be against each other, but to learn and grow together. Yeah, it's straight into a race, so that's cool. Get your favorite car on for Laguna Seca. I'm going to go 911, but I have a feeling the Porsche, the BMW would be good here. The Ferrari, I think, is very good here. And actually, I wonder if we can see people's results here. So these are the cars so far. We got a Mercedes, we've got a 911 CTR. We can see people's countries there. GT, Skinno, thank you very much. Right on. Don't forget, folks, throw on your soft tires because I want everyone to be as equal as possible here. Ditch, that's the flag from Germany? Same with Party Boy? Or is it the Belgium flag? I think the Belgium flag uses similar colors, but I'm pretty sure that's the German flag. So yeah, Mercedes AMG, it sounds absolutely incredible. It's kind of like, kind of shaped like a Viper, set up kind of a little bit like a Viper, front engine, big long hood, interesting rear end. I'm up for owning a Mercedes AMG. So we'll have to see what the next 5 years holds for us. Because I also don't want to sell the Shelby. I kind of think I want to make that a car I still own in 20, 30 years when its value will have easily doubled. All right, everyone's in, everyone's ready, and I love seeing the mix of cars here. We've got an Audi, a Corvette, a Viper. We know Dano's going to be driving the Viper before he gets to the lake house. We've got the Skyline, some 911s, a BRZ as well. Look at this, beautiful. Some Ferraris, Mercedes AMG, and a Huracan. Oh, you got kicked. Okay, well, hopefully you can make it back. There's 13 racers, so there's definitely room for the two of you to make it back. Oh, Philness, you made GT Skinno a livery. That is awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool. If Philness is in, fantastic. I'm going to make sure that you get clicking. Let's go. All right, let's do it. Let's get not ready to rumble. Let's get ready to race. Let's get ready to racecraft here at JCCR Racing, where the focus is learning and growing, making some friends along the way, and doing some clean, smart, safe racing, because safe is fast. So safe defenses, safe passes, and always just slightly pushing the limits of what we can do, or driving right around the limits of our skill. A little over rev there, but I think it's worth it because it's to get the radar on. Whoo! Corvette flew through there, but I think survived. Oh, and there's a little overturn from Ditch there. I think Ditch probably could benefit from maybe a little more traction control. I know all the pros and A racers who are, you know, the big time GT streamers are going to tell you to run traction control on 0 ASAP. You know, the faster you get used to it, the better. But I think it means there's going to be a lot of crashing. It is public, open, but it'll be harder to find if you're not friends with someone in the community. Sorry, party boy, we kissed there. Not trying to start anything long term with you. Just a wee little accidental date. Oh my goodness. Res Racer. I'm so happy I didn't crash into you. I do not like crashing into my friends or my opponents. Oh, I've made a big mistake here. Oh, Dano, nice to meet up with you. Looks like we're out fishing together. We're out fishing. We're out on the shooting range. Now, Dano, do you go out and target shoot? If so, if ever I visit Texas, will we meet up and will we go to the range? Because if so, that is something that I would love to do. And if ever you come to Canada, make sure you visit. I'll take you out if you do like the idea of shooting, target shooting. I'll take you out to my club range. Oh, I don't think I've ever caught the apex like that. And that was smooth. I like that line. Now, Chowder Pouch, you're looking too good with that livery. You're making me want to buy a Viper. I don't know if Vipers are reliable. I know Gen 1 is, they say they're so hard to drive, but with 400 horsepower, as long as you're not silly, you should be able to stay on the track, on the road. 400 horsepower isn't so much that you just touch the pedal and it spins in every single gear. It does, if you're driving it really hard. Wow, not having driven this for a while has actually been really good, because I'm pushing the track more than I've ever pushed it. Oh no! I got a little wee little bump there. So I know I touched some people after my bump. Sorry, couldn't help it. I got bumped. .911 was made for this course because there's so many turns that you've got a long acceleration off turn that you go in slow. While here the 911 doesn't benefit because it's got a long first gear. Actually, not so bad. If you get it the speed just right going in, you won't be at the bottom of first, which is very bad in the 911. The 911 you use first a lot, and it's great. unless it's a really slow turn and you end up at the bottom of first. It's kind of like a go-kart. You don't want it to... Go-kart, you always have to try to keep the revs high because it's all or nothing in a go-kart. And first gear on the 911 is kind of like that. Don't let it get too low. Keep the revs on it. All right, so let's basic racecraft from the outside to the inside. When you get to the marker, trust the process, throttle down, pedal to the metal. It's just about asking yourself how quick can you get down on that pedal. So we cut it in real tight there to get a pass. Normally you don't pass in the turns, but hey, I take gaps where I see them, when I can take them. I really skimmed that corner. Darth Rambo. Wow, Darth Rambo. I'm sorry. I got excited to read your comment and missed my break points there. As a reminder, in the real world, please limit distractions. I know it can be fun to have distracting things on these big fancy touch screens, or have your phone open over to the side on a video, or your phone beeps and you're like, oh, what's this? A message came in? But that quick little distraction can cause you or others a whole lot of problems. Remember, there's even if you don't mind having an accident, remember there's people on the road with kids, people on the road that need to don't have insurance and really need to not have an accident. So we'll do this a second race. No one's done this race in a while. I think we'd all benefit from a second attempt. 911 holding together there. Oh, Darth Rambo, it's not your fault. It's my choice to look. That is the worst line. The worst line to take there. I went in too quick. Figured I'd push it to the limits since this race isn't going to finish with a top 3 anyways. Oh, sorry, Dano. That is my fault, buddy. I was on the brakes. I wasn't gunning you. I wasn't using you as brakes. I was on the brakes, but just didn't have enough stopping power. Look at Dano's beautiful livery. Ooh, to the Viper, Blue Viper went to take Dano out. That's unfortunate. Hopefully Dano knows that was not me. Hey, ditch is back. Hopefully he doesn't send us into the ditch. Oh, he sent Gruntle off though. Ditch. This is a clean racing lobby. Hopefully that was accidental. It's all about learning racecraft here and racing with friends, catching up with friends in the live stream. And for next week's live stream, if anyone would like, let me know who would like to be running on the other side of the speaker. Philness, if you're down, let me know, buddy. Oh, Ditch took that corner well. Darth Rambo, good point there. CTR Ronin, very, very, very fast driver. Probably pushing the track to its limits and caught a little outside. .911 is fantastic on this track. Yeah, this is a great track. Great track. I think I had an okay lap. My last one I think was quick. Now let's see. I missed a nice little bit of chat here. Darth Rambo. Yeah, Darth Rambo. This is mixed, and it's meant to be mixed. It's so that E, D, and C drivers can get the maximum learning from the A and B drivers. So Darth Rambo saying he's a C driver. with traction control on too. Same here, friend. Overall feels best for my skill level. I completely agree. And on a controller, if that matters for ability to stay on the track. I don't know if some people find controller better. It's just for me, this is so important. Cockpit view, so important as we try to have this channel bring us to an actual racetrack so I can bring you all to a racetrack and really give you some, maybe not live, but edited videos of what it's like, what a process of paying to be trained to race a racetrack by professionals so that you can then actually drive independently on that racetrack. It'll actually be a racetrack that originally was part of a circuit. It's Mont Tremblant is where I would like to go. It's beautiful. It would just be interesting putting my camera up in the vehicle that I bring down, because we'll probably see Lambos, Ferraris. It's a very rich area. The wealthy from both Quebec and Montreal end up at Mont Tremblant, and some international visitors as well. Dano, take care, friend. Have a great time at the lake house.
Of course I will take you shooting.
Oh, that is awesome. Dano, I love it. And if ever I make it, I'm going to go down to Texas, I'll let you know and we'll meet up. We've driven down to Florida several times, so if I can ever convince the wife to try out Texas, which I would love, who knows, could maybe even end up living in Florida or Texas one day. Take care, folks. Dano, take care. We'll do one last race as I have visit coming, so we'll jump into the next race real quick. Yeah, Super Doofus. Race long and prosper. Love it.
I wish I had a good setup for my real ID have role. Married with
Oh, fair enough, Darth Rambo. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm very fortunate. I have a basement here, and it's kind of my basement. So I get to have my own little TV set up because the family is upstairs. All right, Res Racer, hit that green button, and we will start our last race of the day. Oh, it's I didn't realize it's an American holiday. What is the holiday? All right, let's get started.
same Darth Rambo.
Well, let's get ready to do some racecraft here. Try to keep it clean, folks. German racers. Saw what you were doing there. Hopefully that was accidental. Try to keep it clean. Gruntle, I'm sorry you got pushed off the track by our German friends. Oh, Memorial Weekend. Oh, fantastic. Well, good weekend, folks. CTR Ronin wanting to start from the very back. Same thing with Philness. Oh, and we've been pushed off the track. That will happen. Oh, a little rough there. Let go of the throttle there to avoid an accident. I'm in Canada, so no Memorial Day weekend for us. We had most of Canada had the Queen's birthday last weekend, and for Quebec they call it Patriots Day, but in French, of course. Oh, I've cooked it just like last race. Oh, Philness got kicked out. Oh, that is unfortunate. Weird. Yeah, the server is weird. That's not by my choice, buddy. Oh, I went in too quick and cooked my progress there. So good job with the clean pass coming in here from Jack Rafferty, a clean racing Italian. I'm going to try to pass here by just getting more apex and back on the throttle earlier. Oh, both avoided an accident there. right, yeah, Filmus, please drop your link. I want everyone to hope everyone will subscribe to Super Doofus and Filmus's channel, as well as GT. You can GT1. You can drop your link to your channel so that everyone can head on over and subscribe. Yeah, Darth Rambo. Shout out to Darth Rambo for sure. Didn't realize Darth Rambo was a streamer. Oh, I pushed it a little too hard there. Let's make sure we nail this one. In slow. Catch that apex. Chowder pouch looking good with that livery. Nice white and kind of like a blue silver. I think I might have found my original truck that I sold maybe, I don't know how many years ago, around 2016 or 17. A 1977 or 78 F100 with the very flared out rear end. And the reason I think it's mine is I had it professionally painted, rotisserie job, off-frame paint job, and it's the blue, my blue, that I had it painted, and my blue was like a personal recipe, and I sold it for 8, and this would have been around 2017, and now it's at, they were asking 15, it's down to 13, and I'm almost tempted. It'd mean I don't finally pay off my Shelby. I've got about 11,000 left to pay on the Shelby, and this car is 13. It's a truck that will create some horrible gases in the community here. But I had put real walnut bedding, floor bedding in the back, rotisserie paint job. This thing looks like a $40,000 project. But isn't, because it's a 78. It has headers. The heads are redone. Well, the heads are specialty heads from I think it was Edelbrock heads, plus the headers. So a nice little built engine, a little slow, nonetheless. That's probably more down to the carburetor. It would rain or be like a very humid day, and it would stall out if it was raining or very humid. So the carburetor was not, it was basically set up for drag racing. All right, so basic racecraft here. Use the whole track, brake in advance. So brake in advance so we can actually catch the apex at the center of the apex, which if you've got your markers up, you just start accelerating at the marker, or it's the rough center of the apex. So here you center, and that's to get back on throttle. And just by doing this, avoiding contact with other drivers, being patient when passing, you will have major improvements. Catch, apex, throttle. Oh, when you go into an over rotation, that ends up being very controlled and kind of fun and exciting. Not the fast way of doing things, but fun and exciting. So just at between the 2 and the 3 here. Yes, and some people like to also, as they learn a track, put on the braking area. I don't. I like to force myself to remember where the brake points are. But the markers really help with my turn-in points. Make sure I get, somewhat of a line. Something between okay to respectable. Not carry good speed through there, so let's get this one just right. There we go. There we carried some speed. Yeah, would love to grow the community. Would love to get over 1,000 subscribers, because then we'll be monetized. Properly monetized. We're technically monetized now, but I don't believe in asking people for essentially what I think is kind of like asking for an undeserved tip, because people can, buy stickers and do memberships, but I don't think memberships make sense. Because then it's like, what, you're charging for special races for people to race with you? I don't know. I like it when things don't cost a cent, and I want to make it that way for everyone else. I want them to get the full experience for free. I want it to be about us, not about me. There we go. Fourth, I can live with that, especially the fact that CTR, very fast. Art, very fast. And JCCR, J Rizzo, very fast. Yeah, okay, so let's see what's been going on here. I missed a lot of chat here. So Phil is saying, yeah, if you don't know the track, use braking area, but once you get better on the track, turn off braking area. Philness, great advice. Check out Philness GT's channel. Darth Rambo, I do stream randomly, but no camera. Would love to join your lobby to race. I'm DRC and SRA+. Love it. Soon to be S. Yes, Darth. Great on. You got to put the ego aside, not attack back. Try to stay, forgiving as much as possible for your own benefit, and that's true in the real world as in racing. And Super Dupe is saying he's subbed to Darth Rambo, so I'm gonna have to look for that. Anyone can join. We just ask that you are clean and respectful on the track. Absolutely, Philness. That's what these lobby races are about. Darth Rambo saying, "Thanks, man. I'm not streaming for views or of subs. Really? Oh, very cool. For the personal memories. Very nice." So Philness saying that he's an investor and drafter. Oh, very cool. I didn't realize, Philness, that you're an investor and a drafter. Very, very cool. I'm not quite sure what a drafter is. I'll have to look that up, or when we chat next time. Maybe tomorrow if you've got time. All right, so love what's going on in the live stream. Connections are being made. Friends are being made. And will be more learning growth on the channel as the community grows. CTR Ronan saying, thanks for hosting these weekend races. CTR Ronan, very glad. It's the highlight, my racing highlight of the week. Philness GT, maybe we can get together. I think I'm going to be running off to church tomorrow to do it in person, not just over the TV and computer from home. So maybe we could look at afternoon or evening. Oh, very cool, Philness. Send me the link if you can, and I will make sure I catch it. If not, I'll catch it on rerun. Folks, thank you so much. Really blessed to have you all along for the journey, and the journey is going from beginner to winner every week. And, of course, the goal is also to, well, go from zero to hero. From E-Class back in December 2024, end of December 2024, when we started online racing, and our climb to A. We're not that far off. If we can do, I'd say 3-4 more races on Maguire and podium on all of them, we'll be at least temporarily in the B class. So thank you so much to everyone who made it into the live stream, who made it into the races. I appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. Don't forget friends and family. Oh, so important. Not just our friends here, but the friends in the physical world as well. Take care, everybody. Godspeed. I wish you all more cars and more power. Hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on a car that you love sometime real soon. And don't forget, sim racing is fantastic. I've got a few pretty decent cars in the real world. This is still my favorite way to drive. And as Super Doofus says, race long and prosper. Peace out, everyone. Take care. Wish you a wonderful weekend. Godspeed.